Welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's time for our weekly breakdown of new games hitting the Switch, and I wish I could tell you this was going to be a monster week, but yeah, really not. A few indies, couple decent looking entries, and then a whole lot of shovelware. And I mean, I guess that's there just so we can drop into some sort of like massive Black Friday sale nearly immediately. As always though, here I don't look at everything, just those games catching my eye, and then I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm picking up day one and what I'm going to be waiting on reviews for first. So with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So before we do get into the bulk of the new games over this next week in all regions, it seems the UK and Europe, they were lagging behind on Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga continues. I'll actually have this in a video in the next couple of days, but I'll say this, nowhere near as bad as you may expect. It's definitely not the prettiest of games, but the mechanics for a side-scrolling beat-em-up, they are decent enough. Now, would I pay full price? I don't think so, even if it is actually pretty lengthy compared to most in the genre. But I'd watch out for a sale on this one, and I suspect we're going to see just that as we head into Black Friday. Still, as I said though, pretty decent, or at least decent in comparison to my expectations, that is for sure. So first, on the 24th, we have Monster Truck Championship. This one, it's promising to be a simulation of the monster truck life as you face off in 3 different leagues. This one, I've actually already reviewed it on the channel just a few days back, and I'll be linking that in the top pinned comment down below, but here's the cliff notes. Frame rate struggles, and it's not a pretty game at all, but fans of monster trucks, you may want to take just a quick look. Everyone else, I'd be waiting on at least a sale and probably a patch or two. The best bit, the truck customization, it's pretty actually in depth and I was impressed. The worst bit, the controls, never did feel quite right, and the best word I can think of to describe them, I'd say if anything probably floating. So next then, Track's Toybox edition, and I was ready to write this thing off as shovelware, especially with the high price tag they're going for, but I did some digging and it's been released elsewhere, and it seems reviews are decent, if a little all over the shop. The idea is simple enough: build toy train tracks, customize the world around them, and yeah, just bask in the glory of the most basic or complex of setups. I can see why reviews were all over the place though. It's clearly aiming for a very specific audience. So if you're sitting there and you're saying I like trains, or I just want something to chill with no real goal or anything other than maybe creation, then maybe this one will be for you. Won't be picking it up myself, sounds expensive and just not an idea that appeals to me personally. Alright, so my aunt is a witch and like tracks, it's a very niche audience here, but I know a few of you out there do like your visual novels, so I figured let's just take a very quick look. Here though, we have a visual novel with some minor quest mechanics that seems to mean almost clue hunting on single screens. Really do like the visual style though. It's some seriously good looking hand-drawn animation for the price point especially, and yeah, maybe this one's going to be worth checking out. One thing I will say, the writing from what I've seen, it does seem pretty basic, which makes sense given the any age rating, so I'm not gonna go in expecting too much depth, but I do still like the idea of the story. A boy who has family issues visits his aunt, and it turns out that aunt is very much a witch. This one's dropping with a 20% launch discount, and that expires day of release. The Alto Collection now, and I'll be going day one on this one. It's been released elsewhere, and the 25% launch discount that expires day of release, that was enough to tempt me in. This, from what I understand, is basically a 2D side-scrolling puzzler where you strap on a pair of skis and no doubt other equipment and traverse landscapes from the alpine slopes to dunes to rooftops. It's touting it's critically acclaimed, and it's bringing together 2 games, Alto's Adventure and Alto's Odyssey. Expect here though 120 levels, 360 goals, so I guess 3 challenges per level, 7 characters to play as, and then upgrades. Honestly, look, it's the visuals that are tempting me, and I love the art style enough to drop this sort of cash plus reviews on Metacritic. It's got a very respectable 76 out of 100. So quick one now, but in celebration of violence, I'll take a look at reviews. It's an old school top-down roguelite which promises action and RPG elements, promising then a huge open world to explore, tons of weapons, magic, items, and then of course some serious challenge. On paper, honestly, that's enough for me to at least sit up and take a quick look. Reviews then are decent, it's already out on PC. The only thing I don't like, the price on the Switch seems to be about a 50% increase over that Steam version. Hopefully this is one that drops into a near immediate Black Friday sale. That would probably be enough to edge me towards giving it a go. Picklock then, and it's another one I was ready to write off for Shovelware, but I did some digging and a couple things stood out. Though limited opinions on Steam, the reviews are solid as it released back in March, and then it's also coming from No Gravity Games, who are on publishing duties here, and they've put out some decent games. Think the recent All Does Blood. The idea here though, an isometric strategy adventure with stealth elements, and you'll be facing 13 challenges, basically break in, steal what you need and escape. I liked the look of this one so much, in fact I've reached out to see if I can get some coverage going here on the channel for release date. A launch discount then as well of 20% makes an already low price even better. So another visual novel now, and it's a decent week for visual novel fans, but this one it's Root Double Before Crime After Days Extended Edition. First off, congratulations on having just a stupidly long name. Second, never heard of it, but the description does sound solid. It seems that you get trapped in some sort of lab, there's a leak that's going to basically kill everyone, time is running out, and now you need to try and survive. After how impressed though I was with Buried Stars, it had a similar premise. I'm definitely going to at least keep an eye on reviews for this one. If you know anything else about it though, do let me know in the comments down below. One last warning with this one though, it does come with a mature rating, and that can mean some risky territory in the visual novel world, so yeah, I'll for sure be awaiting on like some opinions. This one though, it has a 20% pre-order discount right now, which for sure saves you a decent chunk of change, but it's still going to be too much cash for me to take the risk. So our penultimate game of the week then, Maid of Sker from Wales Interactive. Typically known for their FMV games, this sees them break that trend and set their sight on the first-person horror, like borderline walking simulator experience. Think like Layers of Fear for an example. Set here though in a remote hotel with a gory history within British folklore, you'll set out to uncover a supernatural mystery with only a sound device that pushes enemy away and then stealth. Set though in 1898, it's inspired by a Welsh horror story of torture, slavery, piracy and mystery. Love the look of this one. It's by far the game I'm most excited for this week, and I'll definitely have some coverage here on the channel. So our final game then, and no pricing for this one just yet on the eShop, but Ponpu, and I love the look of this as well. First off, it's not only influenced by but also plays like supposedly Bomberman, and that's for sure not a bad thing. This one though, it's a 4-player multiplayer party game with 3 modes. We've got Team Deathmatch, Coin Chaser, you're going around the map collecting coins, and then Colour Fight, which seems that you'll be leaving like a trail of colour behind you, so think, I'd guess like Splatoon. I see no mention of single player here though, so I am curious to see if we get bots, but if the game cites Bomberman, I'm gonna be for sure checking it out. The only real question is, how much is it? If it comes in under 10 bucks and it has some single player content, I'll for sure be taking a look. I would guess it does though, because it is promising on the description a campaign with boss moments. Finally, this one, it does say on the eShop it has online play too, and that could be great. It could be great fun for party moments, but then also for things like the Discord group we have going right now. And that's it, another week down. As I said, not a monster week, but I'm going to be checking out at least a couple of them. Will you be adding anything to your collection, or are you going to be saving that cash for like the Black Friday sales we will no doubt see over this next few days? There's going to be a ton of like great discounts, no doubt, both physically as well as on the eShop. With that though, like a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.